All right, didn't want to do that too loud because there's a small crowd in here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to an abbreviated Hingham School Committee meeting of October 15th. I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is a really brief meeting tonight. We just have three business items to take care of, or two actually on the open agenda, and then we're going to adjourn to executive session and meet with the Board of Selectmen. So we need to adjourn here by 7:25 at the latest, so we can get over there. So with that, I would accept a motion to approve the minutes of the school committee meeting held on October 7th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the school committee meeting held on October 7, 2019.
Second? Ness, want a second? Thank you. Any discussion? No, I was not here, so I'll abstain from voting, but all in favor?
Aye.
Great. And Liza too, sorry. All right, so that is, any nays? No? All right, all set. Thank you. For new business, item 3.1, to hear a proposed revision of substitute rates for food service and bus drivers and act as appropriate. So there's some information in the packets about the substitute rate changes that the administration is making. And we had, I believe, we've discussed that. The subject came up at a prior meeting that we were going to be considering this rate increase. So, John, do you want to just give us, the committee, a little?
Yeah, sure. So on an annual basis, we always we have a number of per diem rates that are not covered for in the collective bargaining agreements that we have, and some of those rates, many of those rates involve the idea of substitute employees, whether they be bus drivers or teachers or para-educators or food service workers. So a myriad of substitute teachers. Also included in the per diem rates might be like student help, tutors, and other type of employees that aren't covered by the 6 major collective bargaining agreements that we have, or like the one sort of set of guidelines for secretaries and assistants. So a lot of those others just have guidelines. But these per diem employees, they're not covered by any type of benefits whatsoever. So what back in last year actually, probably sometime around the May timeframe when we took these items to the committee, things were a little bit different, I guess, and we approved some rates for what we're meeting here today about is specifically for bus driver and van driver subs, and then also food service workers. The leadership of my directors there for food service, the previous sub rate really for food service has been $12 an hour, which basically is what minimum wage is today. And we're facing a situation right now with record low unemployment figures, and it's very, very difficult for her to get any type of workers whatsoever. And typically what happens with the subs is we try to hire, we're always out advertising for subs. And then the subs coming, and there will be change in the workforce. So, I mean, these people could, in fact, move into other positions. But, today we're having an increasingly very, very difficult time attracting subs for food service. And then it also goes, the same holds true for bus drivers, too. The bus driver sub was $20.95 an hour. And Patrick came to me later actually in the year and says, can we do anything about that sub rate? Because, we have the bus drivers, we grew a couple of buses with the Metco runs, so that consumed some drivers. Then we also added 3 of those special ed runs with our smaller vehicles and stuff, so that we needed some additional van drivers. And, it's very, very, very important that we have a regular flow of substitutes joining us. We train for bus drivers. We'll provide training, but we need to get a steady flow of subs into our organization so that they can move into the positions when those positions do become vacated. And it's unfortunate. I'd love to keep everybody forever, but we do often have vacancies, which by and large result from You know, from a bus driver perspective, it's more along the lines of, you know, there's many of them are seniors and they're deciding to retire. You know, very few of them leave us because they no longer want to drive a bus. It's all like, hey, well, my time has come, so I think I'm going to leave. Okay, so, you know, it's important, and then we'll get backfilled. Patrick does a great job backfilling, but he thought that, you know, by increasing that sub rate from the $20.95 to $22 per hour would be very, very helpful. Similarly, when you look at the when you look at the van drivers, because we are adding new vans, we have maintained the sort of same sub rates for a number of years. The van rate right now is $18.62, and Patrick has suggested, can we increase that to $19 too? You know, because we're in a period of minimum wage increases that are happening every year, right? So even in January 1st, the minimum wage for a food service worker or for a worker is going to be $12.75 an hour. It's very difficult for us to compete with at a basic minimum wage rate. People can go to Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's, they're getting $13.50, or they're getting more. So what Kim came in to me saying struggling. She was really struggling to get people to fill slots. Food service, the turnover may be a result of, you know, we want to keep them there, but, you know, the reality is they are low-paying jobs, and lots of times if people decide they can't do it or they want to give it up, they do give it up. It's not like they're going for other jobs or other advancement. You know, it's perfect for people that, you know, mothers or other people that may have kids, and, you know, the needs of the family say, hey, listen, I have to leave. So, you know, we do see a fair amount of turnover in food service as well. So what we thought was, with the increasing these rates, and especially on the food service, we had a rate set up for like $13 for the beginning of the year, January 1st. But, you know, I'm asking if we could increase that now immediately instead of waiting till January 1st from the to $13.25. So that would be from the current $12 per hour right now to $13.25 effective, say, tomorrow. What we would have done and what was approved anyways was $13 January 1. So I'm asking to sort of accelerate that and throw another quarter. So it distinguishes us a little bit. You know, there's another 50 cents per hour that shows, hey, come over here, become a sub, work for us. There's always positions opening up. Take a position, you'll get some benefits, you'll get other, you know, your pays will increase. So it's just a better the word it's a better opportunity for the people, you know, and we do need to continuously build a stable workforce. And bus drivers, I mean, I can't say enough about bus drivers. We constantly need bus drivers. You know, Patrick even talked to me today about the idea of, like, in this budget, we're probably going to be proposing at least another van, so there's going to be another van driver. And sometimes what will happen is our bus drivers will be, our van drivers may move up to become a bus driver, then we have another van driver to fill. And believe it or not, there's a lot of bus drivers today now that say, hey, you know what, if that van route is happening, can I take that van route? You know, there's the big buses, and you know, everybody has their preferences. So does that provide the history and, you know, sort of where, you know, what we're looking to do? We just want to be in a mode where we're competitive, that we can somewhat attract people to become subs, because those subs are truly the feeders into our operations. So what I'm proposing here is to increase the bus sub-driver rate from $20.95 to $22 effectively tomorrow, or October 16th, and then effectively the driver van sub rate from $18.62 to $19, and to establish the food service sub rate at $13.25 tomorrow. And then, you know, with effective October 16th, as opposed to waiting till, you know, January 1 and then trying to increase it a quarter afterwards.
Does anyone have any questions for John on that? No? Sorry, did you have a question?
So does anything else on that list come up at a different time, or, I mean, why are we just talking about bus drivers and
food service people,
I-
subs.
I guess I will add to that. Salary negotiations did come to consensus. We agreed with this when we met in the end of July. At that time, we had also talked about the teacher sub rate,
Yes.
and increasing that by 10%. So I wanted to ask the question,
Yeah.
are we doing okay with subs?
Or if
Do
we
we want
brought
to put that
up,
on a future agenda?
I think we should put it on a future agenda because I do have a proposal to increase those as well. You know, I did go back and I did a little research and then I did a little bit of modeling for that. It didn't end up on this agenda, but
Okay.
I mean, what's critical for me right now has been the food
Okay.
service and the bus drivers, but we should readdress that. And, you know, I can send out the model that I put together.
Okay.
I mean, I could go over what the model is if you want me to do it now, but, you know, it wasn't posted. But
Yeah, no, let's
I
do
do
it.
believe that we need to increase substitutes, para rate and the teacher rate, and I think we need to increase the student worker rate which would be effectively, it would happen May of 2020 when we start asking student workers back again, because we had a very difficult time getting them this year as well.
Did you have a
Yeah.
different issue?
No, that's fine.
Thank you, sure. I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you,
that's
but
good.
since we had wanted you to know that we had talked about
Okay.
something else.
Yes.
so-
Yes, so other rate increases are highly,
But you're
potential
just-
in the future.
You're just really specifically feeling the terrible pinch right now on these two particular categories.
Yes, we've been feeling the pinch on subs for a while as well. So, I mean, you know, I don't think we should wait a long time before we readdress if we may. But, I mean, I think right now, I'd be happy getting food service and bus driver rates established, sub rates established for, you know, the future. And I'm sure Patrick Cunningham and Kim Smith would greatly appreciate that as well.
All right, thank you.
We can bring back in November as well. We can bring
Sure.
back in November with our next proposal. I think that would be a good place to be.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion? You ready to go, Carlos? Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed revision of the substitute rates for food services and bus drivers as recommended by the business director effective October 16, 2019.
And van,
Say again?
you said bus driver and van driver.
And van drivers.
And van drivers?
Yeah.
I didn't see van drivers there. And van drivers, as recommended by the business director, effective October 16, 2019.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Liza, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, all
Thank you
unanimous.
very
Great.
much.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you. All right, that is all the new business that we have. So if someone would like to make a motion to adjourn to executive session, not to return to open session, for the purpose of approving minutes of the executive session held June 17th, executive session minutes held on August 12th, executive session minutes held on September 23rd, and to join the Board of Selectmen in a joint executive session to discuss collective bargaining, the public discussion of which could jeopardize the committee's bargaining position.
I'll second that. Oh.
made the motion.
I know, I'm like, oh, it's while I was saying it. All right, thank you. All right, it's like executive, so in order?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right, we are adjourned to executive session. Thank you.